question about functions and inverse functions. The first part is to actually go ahead and draw the graph of f of x from 0 to 3. So we will start this just using pen and paper, then we'll switch to the TI Nspire. So here we go, we are going to plot, I'm going to help a little bit maybe for the inverse function here. I'm going to put y equals negative 2.5x plus 5. And then when x equals 0, we are going to put 0 in place of the x, and you can clearly see we're going to get 5. So 0, 5 is a point to plot. 0, 5 is here. And then we are going to look at the end of the domain, 3. So we're going to substitute 3 in here. So y equals negative 2.5 times 3 plus 5, again on the calculator or on your head. This will be minus 2.5. So we see that 3 minus 2.5 is the end point. 3 minus 2 minus 3, I think it's there. Then I'm going to go ahead and join that with a straight line. There it is. Beautiful. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now it says B here. B is talking about a point that lies on f to the minus 1 and has these coordinates. Okay, so I think it's important that we get the idea of a function and its inverse. So basically, if a number comes in to the f function, then a y value comes out, and if that number goes back through the inverse function, it goes back to x. Now this is telling us that b goes into the inverse function and out comes 3. So what we can say is that b here goes into the inverse function, that should be minus 1, and out comes 3. So a different way of saying that is we need to feed 3 into the function and out will come b. Alright, so we can actually just work forwards and backwards here, just from that picture alone. So basically the answer to question B is actually quite simple for part B. We just have to feed the 3 into the f function, and out comes negative 2.5 times 3 plus 5, so that is minus 7.5 plus 5, and we know that answer because it is already minus 2.5, okay, which is the point down here. Okay, so basically it's just working forwards and backwards. C, determine the missing entries in the table. Well, I think it's going to be quite easy to work out the range, because the range is just the difference in heights here. Can you see that? The domain was already given in the question. So the range is from a height of 5 here down to a height of negative 2.5. So that's a height of 5 down to negative 2.5. Of course, the great thing is with the domain and range, for the inverse, they just switch over. So we just transfer over here, 0 to 3, and we transfer over here, minus 2.5 to 5. Okay, perfect. And D, draw the graph of f minus 1 on the same set of axes used in part A. So basically on the same axes, we've got to draw the new graph. And one final trick that we're going to use here is that we are going to 0, 5, and this point is 3, negative 2.5. And basically these are the points for the function. And so for the inverse function, these coordinates just actually switch round. So we're going to switch the coordinates and plot them. But also, of course, the graph of the inverse function is a reflection in this particular line y equals x. That's another way of saying the x and y's interchange. So let's go ahead and interchange. So we'll start with 0, 5. 0, 5 becomes 5, 0. So this point now goes to here. And this coordinate down the bottom, we can see 3, negative 2.5. That becomes negative 2.53. So negative 2.53 is here. Just plot that in here. So this is negative 2.5, 3. And this is here. This point is 5, 0. Then we're going to go ahead and join that up with a straight line. And there's, let's just put the label on, this is f to the minus 1. And the first function in black is f. And if you have a little look on this line here, you can see that there's perfect symmetry in this line. So there's the function, the inverse, are always reflection in the line y equals x, and the x and y coordinates just switch around for every single point on the graph, and then there's always one point here that actually might lie exactly on the line of symmetry. If you are looking to see what that looks like on the TI-Nspy, you can, but I think it's just simple enough to write it out this way, yeah?